Oh, hello, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you are new here. How are you? I just noticed that Lottie and I went live at exactly the same time. Completely unexpected. Sorry to those of you who end up bouncing between us. I appreciate you so much. Figured we would do an unboxing this evening if you guys would like. Do a little collective message. We'll check out these new decks. I don't remember what I ordered. I never remember what I ordered. So so we'll check that out. We'll see what's in these boxes here. Hello. How are you? Sip some water here, get some coffee going, and let's unbox these new decks, shall we? How is everybody's Friday going? Let me know. Shout out to Fridays everywhere. Hi, Southern Girl. How are you? Let's see if I can even get in this box with scissors. I don't know that I can. Let's see. It's a thick box. Oh, the other one's more like an envelope. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I have two new boxes. For those of you coming in, I have two new decks. Excuse me. We're going to unbox a couple new decks, and then we'll get a couple messages from them. We'll just check out the energy in them, see how they are. Do we like them? I don't even remember what they are. They could be things that I saw on one of Lottie's lives and liked. It could be something random I came across. I never remember. I never remember till I get them out of the box what I ordered. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, Jan. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Ravi. Again, this could be a collective reading tonight. We're going to unbox. Oh, my gosh. If I can get it open, we're going to unbox two new decks. Oh, I'm excited. Hold on. I see it now. I see it now. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the first new deck. Seeds of Light. Ooh, Daniel Venables? Did I accidentally order two of these, or do I have three decks to open? I might have three decks to open. Oh, thank you. I'll show them in a little while, kiddo. Oh, Light Web Oracle deck. Maybe I have three decks. Surprise! I don't remember what I ordered. Let's see what the third deck is. No idea. Let's see. This one I can cut with scissors. The other one was too thick. Here we go. You guys can't see, but I can. Oh. Excuse me. We have company. My daughter's sitting behind me. Did I not get in there far enough? You gotta be kidding me. So well glued. I didn't make it. I didn't make it. Here we go. One more. Oh, I'm good, Southern Girl. Been a bit of a long week, but it's going well. Like I'm not disappointed. I am a little tired. I'm not disappointed, but I am a little tired. What is this third deck? This might be one that I want to return. I'm not sure. I don't know what package I grabbed. To see. I think I accidentally double ordered a deck this week. This is not the deck I double ordered. Okay. So 3 unique decks. 3 new to us decks. The Elemental Alchemist. And my daughter is dying for me to show you guys her little bird. If I don't show you, she's just going to keep shoving it in my face. Don't forget to tell her how cute it is. There you go, love.
Wait, Mom.
What?
You forgot to read what it says.
I can never pronounce what it says. Giggle, giggle, giggle. There you go. Take it back in the other room, you monkey. You monkey. She's so cute. All right. I love this. So we have two, I think I saw this on Lottie's channel, Tears of Wheat Tarot Show. I'm not sure if I've seen it over there. I'm not sure where I found it. Excuse me. But that's cool too. They look like light worker decks for the most part. They gave me, the reason why I got these was they gave me like Rebecca Campbell vibes, and I really like Rebecca Campbell decks. So I went ahead and I found a couple that are similar. I think I have all the and then some, because that's the one that I double ordered. I accidentally double ordered a Rebecca Campbell. You love a pink drawing? It's her favorite color. It's her favorite color. That's a bird from a show she likes to watch. I don't know the show. We watch, I mean, it's like a show for toddlers, to be honest with you. She loves little kids stuff, so absolutely adorable little show. Oh, okay. Oh, look, Amber, there's a blank piece of paper in there with my cards. Do you want to draw me a picture on it? I accidentally cut it with scissors, but it's a cute little page if you want it. You can take that with you. Gilly Gilly. That's the name of the show. Took me a second to remember. Gilly Gilly. I hope you are all well. We're going to start here in a second. Get these shuffled up. I set my intentions for this in every reading. May they be a source of inspiration and discernment on your healing journey. And may God grant favor and grace to anyone who is tapping in. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's shuffle these up. Let's take a look. Very pretty box. It was something about the symbol made me think of Rebecca Campbell cards. Take a look. Take the extra card out. Yes, I think that Lottie on Tears and Wheat Tarot Show has this deck. Yeah, yeah, this is definitely from Lottie's collection that I found it, that I was inspired. Get a little more room to shuffle here. There we go. No list today. I'm unboxing new cards. We're going to do a collective reading of the new cards. I should find a companion. Give me a second to think about it, and I'll figure out what tarot deck I'd like to use with these. I have yet to decide. I think the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed would be a good companion deck. Yeah, I think that would be a good companion deck. Let's see. Just get it shuffled up a couple times, and then we'll open one of the other decks. This is the new deck, but we will also open another new deck. What was the other one? Is Seeds of Light. 48 cards. Let's see. We have 44 cards, 48 cards. Danielle Venables. Artwork by Stephen Wicker Campbell. Check this one out. Ooh, I like the gold foil on the edges. That's pretty. That's real pretty. I like the backs too. Beautiful. When you move in unwavering devotion to the desire of your heart, you can move mountains with faith alone. It's interesting that I was speaking about Lati when we first started, because she was talking a lot in one of her lives this week about what faith can do for you, belief, what believing, what having faith can bring, what can be born from faith. Oh, I said what could be born from faith, and I looked on the bottom deck, and there's literally impregnated divine feminines on the card. Birth. What could be born from faith? Thank you, Spirit. Yes, thank you, Zelda. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, I don't feel like we do enough generals, and not that I have a problem doing the lists, but sometimes I like to just be able to talk to you guys as a group, and commune, commune with spirit and the group without all the pressure to sit through a list, to just see what flows and what comes out. Oh, isn't this cute? Look at this card. The Soul. These are super adorable. Yeah, welcome back, Zelda. It's good to see you as well. Let's get these shuffled as well. Interesting cards. Interesting cards. I'm not so sure I like the script on them. Might be a little hard to read. They're a little, this is irritable. The cursive, okay. Anger. The cursive is a little arrogance. The cursive is a little interesting. A little challenging to read quickly. The ancestors. But these are beautiful cards. A little challenging, I think, to read the writing, but beautiful artwork. Let's get those shuffled up. Let me grab the good tarot so that we have a companion tarot deck. And then we'll get started with what the collective needs to know. Or guys, if you want, I can pick something from the bowl. But I thought I'd just start with what does the collective need to know. Maybe I'll start with this deck and we'll get like an overview, like a single word energy, and then we'll go from there. Hi, Diamond Girl. How are you? I'll get a sip of my coffee. I had one of those weird days, guys. So I dreamt last night that I was having an asthma attack. For those of you with asthma, when you're struggling to breathe in your sleep, you'll often have a dream about it. And I was having this dream that I was having an asthma attack, and I went to use my inhaler in the dream, and it was empty, and I woke up, and I was struggling to breathe, and I went to use my inhaler, and it was empty. Like in real life, it was like the premonition that my inhaler wouldn't be working. So I drank some coffee. I feel a little better, but if I sound winded tonight, it's just because I don't have my inhaler and my asthma is acting up. So just so you know, I'm okay, but I am a little winded. Let's get Spirit. What do we need to know? What is the main topic of tonight's reading, Spirit? What do we need to know? What would you like us to discuss tonight? What would you like us to discuss? What is the main topic? Ooh, that's the way that came out. Lack of conscience. A lack of conscience. A lack of consciousness. A lack of conscience. It's giving this energy of mindless instead of mindful. See, 2 more cards just went flying. What do we have? Inspiration and creativity and peace. So I feel like Spirit is calling for a collective move to transmute through creativity, through inspiration, to transmute anything heavy you may be carrying with you. And I feel like this is a call to even transmute things that are on the subconscious, the things that are not on the surface. You know, you may be experiencing some fear, insecurity, or discomfort, like discomfortable energy, uncomfortable energy lately. Okay, and this is like pointing to something deeper that you may not be fully consciously aware of, that needs to be addressed, transmuted. This isn't even calling for it to be identified. You may not know what is under the surface that is really triggering you or causing you to feel uncertain. I'm seeing like overstimulated, like an overstimulation, like getting home at the end of a day and having there just be so many different things going on throughout the day that you can't really put your finger on the one thing that needs to be transmuted. And this is giving that energy of just transmuting all of it simultaneously without having to name it, without having to specifically release it, without having to be aware of it. A lot of times, if you're into creative writing, for example, you may just stumble upon what's really bothering you as you journal. You know, you may not know the source when you start, but as you write, you come to it. And that is one form of transmutation, one form of getting to the source of things. If you're a painter, you may not always know why you chose the colors or the, you know, the topic, the medium, what you're working with. But you may feel a need to get something out, right? Get something out on a canvas, but not necessarily know why you're feeling it. And that's the energy that's coming through right now, is transmuting the things that are under the surface so that you can create peace without needing to know what is causing the friction. You can create peace in your life without needing to know the source of the friction. You don't need to directly know what needs to be released. Dancing is coming to mind. When you ever notice if you're playing a good song and you dance it out in your living room or your kitchen, that you just instantly feel better. That's what this is giving me. It's like bringing peace to your life through inspiration and creativity. It's like a conscious effort to release things that are subconscious. I hope that that makes sense. Let's see what else we have coming out today. What else do we need to know, Spirit? Downloads, high messages, cosmic wisdom, and channel. You could be getting downloads. You could be channeling. This could be something that happens when you're in the act of creativity, right? Bringing cosmic consciousness to your being is what's coming through. Creating awareness, creating mindfulness, moving mindfully, especially when you can't put your finger on what it is that has bothered you through a day. It's often, you know, from not moving in a mindful space, right? A lot of things happen during the day that we don't necessarily give our attention to or our time to. What else do we need to know, Spirit? It's giving me like Spirit bringing stuff to the surface for you to be aware of, so that you can build that mindfulness. Distortions, falsehood, altered reality, fake stories. This is clearing up the distortions, like sort of tuning into self, looking at and seeing where the blocks are, where things are unaligned. When we move without being mindful, right? Oftentimes, there, okay, thank you, Spirit. There's a mask, right? A lot of us wear different masks around different people, right? Or we just, it's giving me routine, like going through the routine, the everyday routine, and how it can distract you from purpose, how it can distract you from your mission, and how mindfulness, creativity, and inspiration move you closer to your mission, move you back into a space of alignment. Action, go time, alignment. Thank you. Life force, literally the card alignment coming out as I said it. Life force, here and now, the burn, here and now. That's that mindfulness energy. Bringing ourselves back. It's like I heard back from the brink of insanity, but it's almost like that lack of conscience, right? Feels often like the brink of insanity. You ever be driving home from work and like realize you've missed 30 minutes of your drive? Like you don't know how you got from there to here because there's so much on your mind, or you're just drifting off and it's like you don't even realize you've traveled as far as you've traveled. So that's coming through big. If that's an experience you've been having, you may benefit from. Look at that. I split on unmask. Didn't I just say masked? This is a call to remove the masks, to reconnect with your authentic self, to reconnect with your spiritual self, to touch your soul, I just heard. Taking opportunities to touch your own soul, to know your own soul, to embrace your own soul, to nurture your own soul, creating the space for it. Fertile void, cosmic wound, feel your way through. Emotions, what's going on beneath the surface with depths? So we have a void and we have depths here. So again, there's this space here where we're doing things mindlessly, where we're not really in so much connected to the now, or the reason why we're doing certain things, the reason why we're repeating certain patterns, the reason why we're putting on certain masks for certain people, and we're not feeling comfortable as ourselves, or being honest, or speaking our mind, or expressing ourselves, not just through our words, but it's giving me through action. What actions are we taking from day to day? How are those actions bringing us closer to our mission, if they are at all? Are the actions you're taking mission oriented? Are they purpose oriented, or are you just stuck in a mindless loop, wearing a mask and doing the things that other people expect you to do day in and day out? Are you doing the same thing every day and wishing you were somewhere else? And if that's the case, if you're floating and you're wishing you were someone else, or you are wishing you are somewhere else, what steps can you take? What mindful, purposeful steps can you take to get closer to the goal that you see yourself in? What is that higher timeline? Where do you see her? And I specifically said her. This could be for the masculines as well, but I feel like I may be talking to maybe just one of you. Maybe just one of you is a feminine, but I feel like it's a collective vibration here of sort of monotony, like overcoming monotony and breathing peace, joy, excitement, but not like dangerous excitement, but it's giving like happy excitement, you know, like a celebratory energy. How do you breathe that back into your life? How do we breathe it back into our life, Spirit? Let go, release resistance, flow with the seasons of life. Thank you. Let go and integrate messy action, embodying transformation. This is that embracing of creativity coming through, right? This inspiration and this creativity. How we embrace it, how we go about expressing it. And it's giving more than more than words. Is all I ever needed you to know. It's given this, it really is giving this energy of taking action towards those higher timelines, like decisive action. But it's not giving me like taking big, unrealistic leaps and bounds. What it is giving me is making space for creativity in your day. And it's mindful creativity. It's like, oh, you know, it's like if you ever the type of person that spills salt on the stove, taking a second and drawing a little picture in it. It's giving me really kid-like energy. Like, do you allow yourself to play throughout the day? Are you going to beat yourself up and be mad about having to clean up a mess? Or are you going to get creative with it? Are you going to have fun with it? I want my kitchen counter back so bad, guys. I'm still working on those miniatures for the backdrop. But, you know, that's one of the ways that I have found to, like, be playful lately, to find opportunities to create and to play throughout the day, to embrace the inner child. It's really giving me big, like, returning to self vibes. Yes, Jean, a little surprise live, a little, I got 3 new decks that we're looking at today. I have Seeds of Light. I have Light Web Oracle, and I have Elemental Alchemist. I forgot what decks I even ordered, so this is cool. It's a nice surprise for me, too. Uncaged, self-liberation. You hold the keys, exactly. Are you feeling like your life is sort of in this mundane or monotone, getting up and hitting repeat every day? Because the only person that's going to be able to liberate yourself from that is you. Nobody else can change that for you. I mean, spirit can force changes, right? Spirit can force changes. I'm not, you know, sometimes it does happen. If you don't go willingly, spirit will make room for it, right? And then how do you handle those changes? How do you receive those changes? How do you receive shifts in your regular schedule? How do you handle when things are not going as planned or as they typically do? Do you breathe and find a moment to be mindful and bring yourself back to center? If you are frustrated, do you find room to be creative so that you can release and integrate what it is that Spirit's trying to show you when the schedule does change, when things do shift? But I'm getting this is more about changing like the monotony of the day. What are you doing? What are you doing now, and what can you do differently to call yourself closer to your highest timeline? What can you do differently? And one of the things is you know, following inspiration, being creative, stepping into your higher timeline requires you to be brave enough to make that change. It requires you to be brave enough to make that change. Grabbing the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. We'll flip a few tarot cards on top of this message. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Hi, Joy. Spirit, what are some other some other messages about mindfulness, about creativity. What are some other things we need to know collectively about breaking up the monotony, about breaking up the sort of unconscious behavior that we take on a daily basis? Ah, Two of Cups. It's giving me this energy of recognizing each other's humanity. I have Queen of Earth on the bottom, but she's in reverse. And honestly, it's giving me this energy of, instead of being envious with other people, we should lift each other up. Instead of throwing shade, we should be shining light. Thank you, Spirit. Instead of throwing shade, we should be shining light for each other. What is something you can do? What is something you could do today? What is something you could do tomorrow to bring a little extra light into somebody's life? What can you do to make somebody feel appreciated? It doesn't even have to be somebody you know. It could be a complete stranger, a hello, a smile. And I'm not saying being polite just for the sake of being polite, because some people can do that mindlessly as well. This is like a intentional act of wholeness is coming through. An intentional act of, yes, Jean, something sincere. The other day I got home from taking my daughter to, I think we went to PT, and we came home, and my sweet little neighbor, Deb, she's struggling with stage 4 terminal cancer. She has a few weeks left to live, and she was outside, and it was just stopping and hugging, just to stop to give her my extra time, my hug. I could have easily walked by her and just continued with my regularly programmed schedule for the day. But it's just those little moments when you stop and you embrace another human being and you let them know their presence is appreciated, that they are loved, that you wish them peace, that you wish them a good day. Oh, that brought tears to my eyes. Bless her heart. Oh, thank you. 7 of Wands, 7 of Fire. What magic and light are you offering to those around you? What light are you offering to those around you? What magic? What of you is it's giving me like the collective is the unicorn. You know, like you guys are the light, the unicorn. Like, will you stand on peace and love and happiness? Will you bring that to the world? Are you willing to shine it out into a very often cruel and dark world? How willing are you to recognize somebody else's humanity around you? How willing are you to sort of, I'm being shown like set down your own humanity, to put your own problems and struggles aside and just take a moment to it be an intentional source of peace for others. When was the last time you were an intentional source of peace for someone else? I'm hearing very specifically that this is like this energy of, for those of you who may not feel like you have a purpose or like you haven't found a purpose, there's something about doing this, taking a moment to be an intentional source of light, an intentional source of peace in others' lives that shows you the way, that brings you into the space of being open to spirit, to being open to receiving. Where did it go? To receiving the download of your purpose. What is to receive the higher message, to step into that state of being, that unicorn energy, that source of light, that source of love. This is giving also this energy of not letting other people who are having a bad day influence how your day is going. Like, how do you not take that energy on and carry it with you? You transmute it. You be extra kind to somebody nearby. You be extra kind to yourself. You be extra forgiving. You being aware that you're not the source of whatever. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Two of earth and two of fire coming out together. Understanding that, their choice is their choice, your choice is your choice, right? And how you're willing to engage in that particular interaction or on that particular day. What are you projecting is also coming through. Ace of Fire, inspiration again. I challenge you to be a source of peace for somebody who comes at you in a bad mood. To be able to put your guard down and not match their energy, but elevate it. Can you elevate? Can you elevate? Instead of matching their energy, can you transmute it? Can you elevate it? Can you meet them in a space of love, even when they're unwilling to be open to it? And I'm not saying to force yourself on other people, but I'm saying we have often hundreds of interactions a day. And we could very well mindlessly be the cranky person if everything feels like it's going wrong in a particular day, right? If we have to go out of our way to feel like we're correcting other people's mistakes sometimes, or we're, just correcting our own mistakes can put you in a damn shitty mood, right? But it's giving this energy of, can you transmute that? And if so, how? And there's creative ways, right? There's creative ways to transmute, to leave a wake of peace everywhere you go. And I'm hearing something about that creative is just doing something out of the ordinary, like taking a different path home. Cooking a wholesome meal, like something I've seen, like something you've never had before, but something enriching, something good for the body, which is good for the soul. Thank you. The whole process. Thank you, Spirit. Taking a class. Taking a class in something you always wanted to learn how to do, but you never set the time aside for it. Right, Jean? Correcting our own mistakes does keep us busy enough. It is true. It is true, but it's also in those moments where we may need to practice that compassion with self. And often when I'm like, I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this, guys. When I've had a shitty day and I have to correct one of my own mistakes, I can project. If I call somebody on the phone and I'm on the wait line for 10 minutes, I can project the pissiness that I feel for having lost that 10 minutes. I'm not above this. It's a collective message. I'm listening, right? But it's giving, like, understanding not only does your mask drop sometimes, but so do other people's. And not so much to let us know that you're unaligned with them, but also to let them know that they're unaligned with themselves in those moments. That they're crying to reach their higher selves. That their inner child is looking for some sort of encouragement. They too are having a dark, cold day. Look at Five of Earth coming out. Five of Pentacles is often about feeling left out in the cold. It's a very childlike spirit in this. So is that yeah, doesn't that look almost like, I don't think it is, but doesn't it almost look like a lion in there? It's hard to see. I can't tell, but in the camera it looks like a lion. It's releasing the inner child. Like people's inner child are crying to be heard, right? And it seems like the more that people suppress the inner child, the more that they deny the inner child the right to be present today, the harder it is to get through the difficult things, the harder it is just to get through the monotony. It's giving like play. Are you playing today? The call. Are you answering the call? Are you answering the call? Are you leaving light in your wake? Are you making room to allow other people to be human as well? Not just yourself, but other people, right? And I got Wheel of Fortune on the bottom as well. You had New Beginning with the Fool right behind it. Well, new opportunities. I love this 3-card combo that just came out. We got the World, the Fool, and the Wheel of Fortune. God, these cards, I always forget how beautiful they are until I get them out. Must be the season of the witch. But it's giving like positively. I'm getting it's like it's the season for kindness. It's the season for mindfulness. We are in a season specifically for elevating the inner child, for allowing ourselves to play, for allowing ourselves to allow others to play, right? To invite others to play, to invite others to come out and play. I'm seeing like I recently saw a meme where it was like, it was a reel, I think, on Facebook. I'm pretty sure it was like, asking my best friend to come out and play like we were still kids, and it shows like this adult woman like acting like a child but running over to her friend's house and like knocking on her door and asking her husband's permission if his wife wants to come out. It was very cute. Wants to come out and play, shows them skipping off together. But that's what it's giving. It's giving like embracing the inner child, allowing it to come out, allowing it to play today, allowing it to be present, allowing it to be now, not acting like it doesn't have space because you have too much adulting to do, right? Where can you make space for play? Where can you make space for creativity? I'm seeing like the coloring books. I know that's something maybe some of you even like to do. It's like, when was the last time you took a coloring page? When was the last time you did a coloring page? Heck, they're free. You can print them off, right? You could print them off. You could get some color pencils quite easily. When was the last time you created space for that? I just got distracted by like, is it food in my hair? The weirdest stuff in my hair as a mom. Like, what is this? A chunk of sweet potato? Is that chocolate? What's in my hair? I can't even tell. Oh my God. Oh, but I love this energy of really calling in our creativity, relying on it, leaning into it. And it's giving, especially when things feel super monotonous. Like, how do you break it up? You can't create new opportunities if you don't make changes in the day-to-day, right? If you're not making room for new opportunities, then the universe isn't going to send them to you. Yeah. You need to make room for them. You need to make space for them. You need to step into the energy of being available to spirit, being available to each other, being available to each other. It's almost giving this energy of like sometimes people, they're asking for favors, not because they actually need help on something, but they just need to know that they have a friend. They just need to know that somebody is present in life with them. A lot of times we might say, say no, we're too busy, we're overwhelmed, we don't have the time for this, we don't have the time for that. But sometimes people they just need your time. They don't really need the effort of solving a problem. They just need somebody to be present with them for a moment, to be mindfully present. I want to look at this deck again. I really love it. And I feel like I'm going to get out one of the, maybe the Light Seers Oracle with it. So this is the Light Web Oracle deck. It's very beautiful. So I want to look at some more of that. I do love the way these two decks go together, though. Just the backs of these two decks. Like, they're a good choice for companion decks. They have some nice energy to them. One of those being the tarot deck that I got out, which was The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid, if you're interested. If you're a reader, you like decks, maybe you're thinking about getting into reading. That could be another one of those things. Like, where are you being called to make little changes? Where are you being called to learn something new, to do something different? Okay. I'm going to put him back in. I think, do I want to keep these three out because we've already seen them? I don't know. No, let's put them back in. We'll wait for a double confirmation on them. That's what we'll do. We might get a double confirmation on some of these. I'm just going to put the other cards away for a minute. I hope you guys are enjoying your afternoon. What else do we need to know, Spirit? Oh, and heads up, guys, because I do have an appointment next week, so I'll probably keep Sunday's reading short, okay? The list will probably be short. I know that my appointment isn't until Tuesday, but it's a big appointment and a big week. For those of you, I don't think I talk about it a lot. Obviously, my daughter has special needs, and she needs orthopedic surgery. She needs surgery on her feet. And we're going to see the orthopedic surgeon this week, so I may be just a little distracted or a little a little busy or worn out myself, because we are probably talking about, if not scheduling, surgery for her feet soon. And I don't know what it's going to mean for the channel when she's in recovery, because she already has special needs. So we're looking at it like 6 weeks in foot casts. So that's going to be extra challenging. We'll face it together when we get there. And I guess in light of this reading, which is unintentional, but in light of this reading, I will ask you guys to extend some compassion, because I may miss some days of readings that I normally would not miss, okay? So just heads up. I don't know how far out that's going to be in the future, but I wanted to let you guys know that that's something that's going on in the background in my life, so that you guys can have the awareness. Sanctuary, service, healing, and sisterhood. What did I say earlier about, being in service to each other? When was the last time you gave somebody a really genuine compliment? When was the last time you showed somebody some really, truly genuine love, to stop and embrace them, to let them know I'm present with you in this. We're present here together. Creating mindfulness, not just for yourself, but for others around you. When was the last time you incorporated that in your daily, right? Even if it's not daily, right? Weekly, like, and I'm not saying, because the first part of the message was really a lot about breaking up the monotony. So I'm not suggesting you intentionally add a monotonous window, but practicing mindfulness throughout the day can lead to more opportunities for genuine exchanges. Thank you, Spirit, for clarifying. You're so cute. We can't just put it on our calendar, right? Because even volunteer work can get monotonous. You could start being very robotic doing volunteer work, right? So it's giving like really truly mindful, really truly understanding where other people are. Vibration, tune in, light, sound, energy, and codes. There's something about being mindful of the vibration, being mindful of the vibration, what's going on around you, practicing mindfulness, being aware, not just of where you are in your own vibration, but where other people are and how they possibly got there. And, you know, I'm not talking about allowing people to hurt you because they've been hurt in the past. That's not what this message is about. But this message is about being aware that they are possibly operating from a space of trauma, okay, through the filters of their own trauma, and just creating that awareness so that you can give them space to be human and understand that they too are facing things that you don't necessarily understand, and healing things that you probably cannot even relate to. Giving them the space to do that. Giving them the awareness. This is like you can forgive somebody and you can send them love. Okay. Thank you. Literally, as I'm saying that, I look on the bottom and I see pyramid of focused energy. You can send them love. You can focus energy without being present, without putting yourself in danger, without going out of your way to insert yourself in their day or their energy. You absolutely can send them love from a distance. Yes. Yes, Jean, exactly. And then freedom, light, money, expression, dance, fun, and magic. So again, this is bringing us back to the energy of expression, creativity, right? I mentioned dance earlier. I mentioned how do we come back into a space of mindfulness? How do we create light? How do we transmute anything heavy at the end of the day so that we can let it go? Hey, Christopher. I figured you'd be working. What's up, brother? Welcome back. Old making way for the new, birth, shaman, and renewal. I said that earlier too. Old making way for the new. How do we make way for something new from spirit? How do we create the space for something new to come in? By transmuting the old, by releasing those parts of us that no longer need to be. I'm hearing access, but I don't think that's it, because it's not that our shadows don't need to be accessed. It's that they need to be integrated. It's that we need a fuller understanding of ourselves. And it's one of the best ways to come about understanding each other, right? When the more you understand yourself, the more easily it is to understand those around you as well. Flip the switch, choice, on off system, void or source. Ooh. This is giving transmuting, but this is also giving shadow work, knowing both sides of yourself, how to integrate them. How to integrate them. These are beautiful, aren't they? I saw these on Miss Lottie's page. I had to get them. She was using them recently, and I had to look them up. They're such beautiful cards. Do I see another 1111? I've seen them on a couple of the cards. There's one up here in the corner. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. So another angel number on these. These are beautifully done, and I think I'm going to get out to go with them because these reminded me of Rebecca Campbell. That's why I ordered them. So let me grab Work Your Light. This is the deck they reminded me of. And this is the reason why I was called to them. So we'll get those out. We'll pair them together and keep the conversation going. Thank you guys for joining me. This is a collective reading this evening. I appreciate you so much for stepping up, saying hi. joining me this evening for a quick collective reading. Trying to do something a little different. We unboxed 3 new decks tonight. In case you were curious, this would be one of them. I love unboxing new decks with you guys. Hi, SK. How are you? What else do we need to know, Spirit, about this transmuting, coming back to mindfulness? How are you being called to step up and lead? This is giving me that energy we were talking about earlier about how do you become a source of light in somebody's life? How do you appeal to their inner child regardless of the energy that they might be meeting you in? Regardless of if they're in a bad mood, like when somebody's in a bad mood, they just won't, sometimes they just won't receive you. But how do you appeal to their inner child? How do you step into an energy where you can inspire them to have a better day? And sometimes it's just a smile. Sometimes it's an unexpected hug. I mean, guys, don't go around hugging people you don't know unexpectedly. It might not bode well for you. But there is this energy of like being able to recognize when somebody needs a hug, right? You don't necessarily have to be the one to give it to them, but if you understand when somebody is in that space of needing one, look at how these pyramids flow. There's a pyramid on that card, and then there's a pyramid on this card, and it looked like one card just flew right into the other. Even the color, that purple color there. That's beautiful. I knew they reminded me of each other, these decks. But sometimes somebody's really in the energy of needing a hug, and they may not be a person you're close to or that you feel safe or comfortable hugging, but you can send them an energetic hug. You can release love and energy towards them. I'm having this anybody watch, what is her name? Abraham Hicks. There's a specific story she tells about this guy who went into a cell phone store and he was just in a miserable mood. And like he was determined to make everybody else in the store and around them and in the lines and everything completely miserable too. And she was talking about how she was very like mentally opening up her heart chakra and blasting him with love. And he was like mad at her for it. Like he literally came at her for it. But she was determined to send, bro, this love and this light. It is like you can send love and life to people. They ain't gotta like it. They ain't gotta like it for you to do it anyways. It's the kind of energy that it's giving. Like, she didn't have to hug him. She didn't have to like have words with him. He was very aggressive towards her and others, but it was like there was just this having the determination to put the light out there. I wish I could remember. If I ever find this story, I'll try to share it with you guys. It was a very good, I love listening to her talk about her experiences as a spiritualist. Don't dim to fit in. Thank you, Spirit. This is all about like not allowing others. Thank you. Literally what we're talking about. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? She refused to dim her light to somebody who was being miserable. She amplified it. She intentionally amplified it and sent it out. Look at all the pyramid energy. She intentionally amplified it and sent it out to bro. Thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. Oh, I tried so hard, not deep, to show that you're my every dream. But you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil little scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart? Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Aww. This is giving that energy, like the same energy that we're talking about, like understanding that deep inside, right, is just an inner child screaming for love. The most miserable people you meet, it's just a screaming for love on the inside. It's just their inner child begging somebody to hear them. The next time somebody cuts you off and your first instinct is to get angry and flip them off or yell or get up in your spirit, right? To get down in your vibe, get up in your spirit. Think about what their inner child must be feeling. Oh, look. And grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Yeah. How do you look at them with love? Even when you're tempted to be angry, to be upset, to be put off, to be, to feel discouraged, to feel sad. It's giving me not to feel sad for them. Okay, don't feel sad for them. Don't feel bad for their inner child, but be aware of it. Create awareness of it. Create the space of being aware of each other's inner child. Not just are you in touch with your own inner child, but are you aware of others who are not in touch with their inner child? Can you look at them with compassion? Can you understand that their projections are not a reflection of you? Hey, Mr. Awesome. How is your mom? How is your mom feeling? Yeah, look, play. That inner child energy. Have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious, right? Some people are super serious. Some people are super serious. It brings me back to our conversation about Damon Darling the other day when he was how he plays with people, right? How he has a way of bringing out people's inner children. Also, how he encourages, enriches his own. This is a collective reading, Afreen. I'm not doing personals tonight. Look at expression coming through again. Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. Didn't we just have that? I feel like we just saw expression. Yeah. Freedom, light, money, expression, dance, fun, and magic. Again, that playful energy. Where are you allowing yourself to to enjoy your life, to play, to engage with the inner child? Sometimes when we engage with our own inner child, we can encourage others around us to engage with theirs. Sometimes they don't like it because they feel so out of touch with their inner child, and understanding that that's a projection of their own trauma and not a reflection of your quote unquote maturity, right? You can be silly. We talked about this last week. I remember going to a blues fest and I was with two friends. And we went to see Aretha Franklin. It was very beautiful concert, but there was a rolling green hill and there was like a dozen kids rolling down the hill. And I was like, oh my God, I want to roll down the hill. And I had one friend with me who was like, absolutely not. But the other friend joined me. It's like, where can you influence people to join you in play? Forget about the people who won't. Don't let them stop you. If you want to roll down the hill, roll down the hill. Roll down the hill. The same friend who joined me rolling down the hill, we were playing a mirror game that day. It was so fun. They rebuilt our campus. We all went to college there. They had rebuilt one of the buildings, and there was this long corridor that they added that was all windows, right, down one side. And I was inside and she was outside. We were walking together, but split by glass. And we started playing like Tom and Jerry when they pretend to be each other's reflections. And the friend who didn't want to roll down the hill was completely embarrassed, but we were having a blast. That's what it is. It's like finding the people that you can have a blast with. The that's how you find your your tribe, right? Who's willing to engage and play? Who's willing to pick up on that energy and go with you? Not everybody's gonna like it, and again, that's about understanding where their energy ends and your energy begins, and those are personal boundaries, not allowing them to stop you, not allowing them to stop you from being authentic and like truly fully embracing what your inner child is calling you to do. Andrew, I went to college in Syracuse, New York. It was a community college, but it's in the SUNY system, so Onondaga Community College. I also went to SUNY Oswego. I took philosophy and psychology at SUNY Oswego, but at Onondaga Community College, I took art and photography. So she was a fellow photography student, a fellow art student as well. She took a few art classes. So, of course, I think when you hang out with artists, you find more playful people. Like it's easier to find playful people. Our companion was not an artist. Our companion that evening was not a playful type. Very. And when I think back, that's literally what it is. It wasn't so much that he wasn't playful, it's that there was, oh, then my ear just started ringing, like a literal fear of allowing the inner child to come out. Like a literal fear of how you might be judged, right? When doing so. Oh, I laugh a lot because when I think about my artsy friend and like what we used to do, like one of my favorite, we would be like walking into the building. We did this all the time. I don't know why we did this, but we would be like, we would walk like we were, I don't know where this came up, like a pizza box. If you were a pizza box, how would you walk? I feel like she just asked me that once, and it's like, and stuck my arms and my hands out, right? And I very stiffly waddled to the building, like big wide waddles, like very stiff. Like if you were a pizza box, how would you walk? Ask yourself that question someday and then be willing to do it. Then be willing to do it. Because every once in a while she'd be like, pizza box. And I would walk like it. It's very fun. It's very fun. It's very fun. I highly suggest playing. I highly suggest embracing play as a form of transmutation, as a form of mindfulness. Let's call it a mindfulness practice. What is your inner child calling you to do? Can you be mindful of what it is that your inner child is asking you to tap into? How are you being mindful of what it is that your inner child is asking you to tap into? Let's get another tarot deck. One of my favorites lately. One of our newer ones. I think we unboxed this in the Christmas lives. That was a lot of fun. Let's do it. It was so fun, Zelda. It was so fun. So I still embrace that kind of inner child energy with my daughter. She likes to be silly, and I like to be silly with her. I think it's important as a parent to embrace that in our children and allow them that space to be kids. I feel like a lot of the time since she's been born, everything has been ever since she's been born, it's been very serious around her. She's got special needs. And from the time of birth on, she's just been poked, prodded, tested Try therapies, physical therapy, occupational therapy, vision therapy, this energy of everybody wanting to fix something or make something different in her. And that time that we have together is an opportunity where I could just allow her to be her. Just allow her to have the space to be where she is in her journey without some kind of expectation or projection. A moment for both of us to let our nervous systems reset. Yeah, the sun, that inner child energy coming out on the split. Yeah, to put the burdens down and to truly embrace the fun, the joy, the purpose, the connections. The tarot, I mean, they're tools. They're tools. But every reader is different. Every reader uses them in different ways. Every reader calls on their guides and their team differently. I can't speak for all readers, what they can and can't or do and don't do with their cards. Jan? Oh, thank you, Zelda. Let's see what we have for the collective. What else does the collective need to know this evening? Really talking about embracing that inner child spirit. What else do we need to know? Thank you, Spirit. Again, remembering. There's something here about remembering that other people are seeing the world through their own traumas, responding through their own... I just heard illusions, responding through their own illusions, which is an interesting way of looking at it. It's like they're projecting their own idea of what things should look like into existence, right? They're projecting, and a lot of times it is trauma based, right? It is from a space of where their wounding is. Their inability to embrace play, their inability to embrace the inner child, to have that childlike spirit. It's given like, those bad news bears. Like those people who are almost never in a good mood. You got to ask yourself, first of all, do I want to be like that? Till death do us part. Do I want to be like that? Is that how I want to be perceived? Ask yourself when you're in a bad mood, am I behaving in such a way that, like, if I crossed paths with myself on the street right now, would it be a positive exchange? Bam, that's some interesting shadow work right there. And now I'm not saying that you have to hide when you're in a bad mood or that you have to shove it down, but I am saying that it would serve you better to understand how to process it so it can be released, so it can be transmuted, so you can alchemize it, right? And we talked about that, alchemizing through play. Look, the wheel coming out again. We had that earlier, the Wheel of Fortune coming out with the Empress. Again, the energy of play. How could we embrace play to transmute our bad moods, right? How could we use play to transmute our lives into, I'm getting this particular Empress as being sort of the higher timeline. The expanded self. How do we become the expanded self? Through play. We don't neglect the inner child. We embrace the inner child. We bring it into the present. We become mindful of her. Or him. we become mindful of them, I should say. So justice came out and it's giving me shadow work. It's giving me the energy of understanding our own traumas and the space that we're seeing the world from. Understanding where we may be suppressing the inner child, right? Understanding how allowing her spirit to rise or his spirit to rise brings us into this equilibrium is coming through. Two of Swords. You have to decide. You have to decide, am I going to go through today with mindfulness and awareness and in touch with my inner child, with my spirit, with my purpose, with my direction? Or am I going to go through today mindlessly without awareness? It's giving of your own traumas as well. It's almost like when you're willing to recognize and be aware of other people's traumas, you become even more aware of your own. Compassion is born from that understanding, that space of understanding. Compassion is born from the space of understanding yourself. The moon, I was going to say, it harkens. I hate when I use that word, but I love when I use that word at the same time. But it's bringing me back to that energy of we don't know what other people have overcome. We don't know how their day has been. We don't know why they're always in a bad mood or why they don't want to be playful. And we don't need to know that to still hold space for them to be human. You don't have to understand why they're miserable. You have to understand why you're allowing it to affect you. The only part you have to understand is why you're taking it on for yourself. Nine of Swords in reverse. Why are you taking it on? Why are you taking it on as a reflection of you? How other people are behaving? How, if other people are saying hurtful words to you, right? Are you taking it on as your energy, or are you understanding that it's their energy? I know, aren't the owls super cute in the moon card? I love them. Woke up this morning, smiled at the rising sun. Okay, if you're having a hard time understanding where their energy ends and yours begins, you have some work to do. 8 of Coins. It would be shadow work. But again, this is also giving transmuting, being the alchemist, right? Alchemizing that energy. If it hits a certain way, listen, if somebody says something and it hits a certain way and it gives you a certain amount of awareness, look at it. Be mindful of it. Don't dismiss those feelings. Process them fully. Allow yourself to sit with them so that you can turn them over, so you can feel them, so that you can reset your nervous system when you release them. I'm not saying take it to heart and see that something is, like think that their projection is some sort of reflection on you. But I am saying that if it hits in a certain way, if it does trigger something, that trigger is information. It is something to look at. It is not something to dwell on. It is something to look at, to observe, to be mindful of. It could be it could trigger a place of yourself where you've been sort of, I'm hearing creating the energy of self-neglect. I got 6 of Cups in reverse, right? I feel like when we mindlessly go through our lives day to day, doing the same thing over and over again, not wanting to be in a certain energy, but continually finding ourselves there, it's because our spirit is lacking something. It's begging for something. It's asking you to correct course. It's asking you to do the shadow work so that you can find the balance, so you could figure out where the source of it is, so that you can alchemize it, so that you could use it as fuel, so you can move yourself in that new direction, so you can recalibrate. The triggers are there to help you recalibrate. They're not there to ruin your day. They're there to help you recalibrate, to help you find where you'd rather be, is what's coming through. How do you recalibrate? Thank you, Spirit. I got King of Cups and Knight of Cups coming in. So that is that uptick in self-love, right? I had the Six of Cups in reverse. Well, how do we make it right? We pour into it. This is giving me, and this whole deck gives me that inner child vibe. It's probably why I was drawn to it, because the whole entire deck is very playful. So again, this is like keeping an open heart chakra, allowing yourself to be playful, allowing yourself to keep your heart chakra. Look at all the hearts here. Allowing yourself to keep your heart chakra open, even when it intimidates others or makes others uncomfortable. That's that don't dim your light energy coming through again. Yeah, King of Wands on the bottom. Don't dim your light. Allow yourself to play anyways. Play anyways. I can't remember what the quote was, but I feel like Einstein said something. I'm pretty sure it was Einstein who said something about a lot of problem solving being done through play. I know that that's not the quote, but the premise of the quote is about problem solving through play. We learn as children how to problem solve through play, through pretend play. I don't think that that ever goes away as adults, to be honest with you, if you really truly think about it. Got the High Priestess coming out again. I feel like we had her earlier too. I love the way she's opening the vow. How it wraps down around her, like she was cocooned. Because again, it's giving me that how do you allow your inner child to access you and the world? It's not just how are you accessing your inner child, but how are you allowing your inner child to access the world? Ooh, Spirit, I like that. How are you allowing the inner child to access the world? How are you bringing them to the surface, to interact, to play, to problem solve? Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, Two of Cups right behind it. Wasn't I just talking about this? A genuine source of light to others. How do you become a genuine source of light to others? And it's like not by choice or intentionality so much. It is intentional, but like I was saying, even the people who aren't open to it around you, even the people that you don't really have an interaction with throughout the day. Again, I'm being like brought back to people who cut you off when you're driving and things like that. How do you send them love anyways? How do you respond to that? How do you allow yourself to respond to that? What are some peaceful ways that you can bring yourself to respond in those situations? Can you bring yourself to imagine, for example, that the reason why they're in a hurry to get home is because maybe somebody is sick, maybe somebody isn't well there. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're not feeling well. What are some things that you could imagine that could put you in a hurry, could make you, less mindful of others around you? Are there scenarios? Are there traumas? Are there trauma responses you could think of in your own life that would have put you in that same energy? And through that space, can you then practice compassion? Can you forgive yourself for the times when you've behaved like that? Will the act of forgiving yourself for the times when you've behaved like that help you to forgive them? That's a good question, Spirit. That's how we begin to hold space for each other to be human. No, this is a collective reading. I'm not doing personals this evening. Thank you for asking, though. Look at the inner child coming out again. Page of Cups. And it's giving, again, do you see all the little letters up here? Because it's giving me like our interactions with others. Like the different interactions we have throughout the day and how we carry them with us and how do we allow them to affect our day? How do we allow them to mold the experience of the day for us? Are we molding our experiences ourselves, or are we allowing other people to mold our experiences for us? And if we are allowing other people to mold our experiences, why are we doing that? Right? Queen of Cups in reverse. Why are we doing that? Why would we let other people get us out of character, take us out of our energy, bring us into a space where we're no longer enjoying our time or our life on that particular day? Oh, geez. Jean, yeah, that bugs me. Yeah, sometimes you do have to ignore it. Sometimes you do have to ignore it. But I would say when you ignore it, send them love anyways. I'm going to ignore you, but I'm going to send you love anyways. Yeah, Ace of Cups. I'm going to send you love anyways. I'm going to keep my heart chakra open because my heart is strong enough for the both of us. Ah, Spirit. Where you lack love and compassion, I have an overabundance of it. That's what it's giving. Where that person lacks love and compassion, you have an overabundance of it. Aw, that's so sweet. What a sweet sentiment. It's okay, Jean, because, part of this conversation comes from me having to take, I spent I think it was Tuesday, I spent a couple hours in the car with my sister. No, maybe it was Wednesday. We had a couple appointments. No, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. We were like 4 hours in the car and we got cut off and passed and had a hard time lane changing, people not letting it in and stuff. And I did not express much compassion for them either. But I also was a bit more mindful than maybe a past version of myself about how I reacted to them. I used to be way more anxious as a passenger. And I thought what was very interesting is that my sister recently had a car accident. And it's like she can relate now to anxiety that I experience in cars that she never had before because she never had that trauma. So it used to really annoy my mom that I would feel a certain kind of way in traffic after my car accident. And it never, just never dawned on my mom where the source of that anxiety was coming from. Like she would get annoyed by me. I had an ex who would get annoyed by it too, and it's like it's a trauma response. It's a fight, flight, or freeze response. There's nothing you can do about it until you process the trauma fully, until your body resets from it and releases it, and that could be years. But it was interesting to like find me and my sister in the same boat because my sister never had that sort of anxiety on the road previously. So this was our first like little road trip where we both had that level of anxiety. It was kind of refreshing, I'm not gonna lie. She was a little extra careful, than she normally would be, and I appreciate that. But it also gave me a space to be compassionate for her and her anxiety as a driver. We still bitched about people cutting us off. I'm just gonna put it out. I'm not above this message, okay? I'm not above this message. I like this message is as much for me as it is for you guys. I want to do something else. I want to do something else. I'm having so much fun. I think we'll keep these cards out, but I kind of want to do a past life reading. I want to grab this past life deck, uncover your past lives. I want to get a card out of it, and then we'll explore the topics on it, okay? And if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't resonate, it might not be your reading, or it could be something you're carrying more subconsciously, which is where we started tonight, right? Lack of consciousness. Ooh, that came out so fast. True love. Identity, androgynous. Okay, time frame, pre-earth. Lesson, self-love, death, old age, location, the stars. Wow, I didn't even realize this card existed. That's really cool. So which one of these should we... I want to explore something about the pre-earth star energy is calling me to two decks, actually. A sacred geometry activation and Beyond Lumeria, which you guys know is one of my personal favorites. This is giving more energy code. This is pre-humanity, right? Jan, I just don't think that you're open enough to receive help here. I don't think you're in the right place for the help that you're looking for, my friend. I don't believe that your heart chakra or your ears are open enough to receive any of the messages that we're working on here. So let's explore this pre-earth energy. It's so interesting. I'm spinning it. What is a celestial faith? I'm so curious. I'm just spinning it and looking at it and seeing. What can you tell us about this past life before humanity's spirit, before we came into the flesh? What can you tell us about our pre-earth selves, our pre-earth energy? Third eye chakra. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. What? Didn't I read psychic on here somewhere? Psychic wounding, trauma, psychic wounding. It's giving that choice to come to earth and forget who we are. It's like when we're born, the third eye is closed. It's a perception, correct. An illusion. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good heart deep look at it. I often say the illusion of separation begins at birth. So when we're born and we forget where we come from and who we are, when we forget our energetic code, when we're born with our third eye closed, we perceive separation, but show me where I end and the universe begins. Because they're not separate. I am the universe experiencing self. You are the universe experiencing self. And if we're both the universe experiencing self, we're part of a wholeness. We are part of a oneness. We are part of the same being. We may be operating under different illusions based on the traumas that we've experienced in the physical body, but the place from which we come from does not have those signals, those traumatic bonds, those that happens at birth, that happens when we come here. That first cry is that first realization of separation. Predetermined pink eye. You're so funny. Oh, so cute. You're so funny, Andrea. Miracle. The frequency, I saw 33 earlier on one of the cards that we got out too. So that could be a significant number for you this week. It is about aligning. How are we aligning with others? This is a frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Look, the frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as part of source and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Didn't we start with the message? We were talking about faith. It was on the other deck. It was on the cover of the other deck, literally where we started. The faith to believe. Which deck was it? Spirit. I thought that it was that deck. Crazy. Was it this one? Nope. It's like playing the cup game. Like which cup is the ball under? Which box was the message in? Last one. Third one's a charm. It wasn't this one either. Where did I read that message? Do you guys remember me showing you a message in the bottom? Maybe it was in the bottom of the box and not the top of the box. Maybe that's why it wasn't there. Hold on. Jeez Louise. How did I lose the whole message? It was all about faith, right? The power of faith. Thank you. I found it. Okay, what's the bottom of the box? When you move in unwavering devotion to the desire of your heart, you can move mountains with faith alone. When you realize that we're all connected, we're all part of the same source, that we are source in of itself, creative beings, the creators of our own life, the ability to align ourselves with the highest timeline where we see ourselves. There are only so many times, my friend, that somebody will ask me the same question. If you're not open to receiving the answer, there is not much I can do for you. I send you with love, please. With love. I release you with love. I release you with love. I hope you find your answers. uh, where you're open to them, okay? Because I'm not finding you open to answers here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, expression again. Thank you, Spirit. I got excited because I saw Divine Feminine. Another 3, too. 21 breaking down to 3. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly. We talked about this several times this evening, so it's coming up. This has got to be the 4th or 5th card of expression that we've seen this evening. Allowing itself to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. What is our intrinsic understanding? We saw this. We saw this a few times. And this miracle and this divine feminine energy is bringing me back to the card in that pre-earth energy where we were before we came here. It's not giving me like prehistory. I'm not getting like, and I know that it's kind of meant to be that way, but it's giving me like this before you were born energy, before you took on this, this flesh bag. Oh, look, we were just talking about expression and the throat chakra came out. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. That's where we started today. That's where we started today. We had the card peace come out in the other deck. And it was like, where can we use mindfulness to bring in peace? Not just for ourselves, but an outward expression for others as well. I like Zelda. It's also like, how do we use this to, I'm hearing influence each other. Right? Even when people aren't open and receptive, how do you use it to influence each other anyway, other than blocking them? Sorry, Spirit. I was getting annoyed. I admit I'm human. Oh, for any of you who don't know, this person was also blowing up my Facebook Messenger at 1 o'clock in the morning the other day. The person I just dismissed was blowing up my Facebook Messenger the other day, trying to pay me to do a spell for them. It's just not what I do. And I've expressed to that exact person several times that they're looking in the wrong place. Thank you. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming. I'm laughing because it's like a direct response to what I was just saying to you guys. It says the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Yes, thank you, Spirit. I know where my heart lies. You know, I had to ask the person, why would you pay somebody to do a spell for you? And I believe their answer was because they wanted to protect their own mind. Well, excuse me, it's not my karma to take on. Like, why would I do, if you thought it was a dangerous spell that could bring harm on you, why would you pay somebody else to do it? Why would you think that somebody else should receive that karma? Why do you think anybody else should want to receive that karma for you? Communication. Thank you. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. We talked about this earlier. We talked about when they trigger you, when somebody triggers you, it's information to be processed, to understand. What is this pointing at? What trauma is it pointing at that I need to look at? I just heard, in what way do I feel like this is separating me from source? Perhaps that is a question we should be asking ourselves when we're experiencing that trauma. I love all that green, the heart chakra energy coming through these two cards. On the bottom of the deck is Earth, and it's beautiful. Again, with the green heart chakra energy, green and blues. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. So again, it's giving me like this connection to the inner child being a part of the reparenting, the process of reparenting ourselves. That's coming out with remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow, gracefully with and in this life. Coming back to self, remembering who we are. We come here to forget. We come here to experience separation. Why? So that we can have the experience of remembering. We don't know what separation feels like until we're born. And then we're like, wow, I'm not part of source. And then we grow and we learn, oh my gosh, I am. I remember I am part of source. I feel like it's something we know as children and then it's programmed into us. I feel like when we're born, even though we're experiencing separation, I think intrinsically we understand who we are, but the programming overrides it often. So birth is the first trauma. It's the first trauma we experience when we come here. It's like as we layer trauma, right? As we layer traumas on top of traumas on top of traumas, we forget. We forget why we're here, to experience, But that's part of the process of remembering, of coming back to self, of finding our way back. The portal keeper, finding our way back. Meow, meow. Freedom. So there's a conscious choice to forget who we are, to experience the freedom of remembering. It's like I'm being shown, like, I watch this Disney creator a lot, and it's giving me like that. It's giving me ride energy. It's giving me like we're queued up waiting for the Earth ride. It's like we're on a ride. It is quite a short time when we're eternal beings. Earth Star Chakra, thank you. Initiation. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. That, we choose to come here. We choose to forget. Why? Because remembering is actually fun, guys. Okay, that inner child is important. That memory is fun. Hi, Tina Marie. How are you? Hi, guys. If I didn't say hi to you when you came in, I'm just so into the cards. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying hello. Weren't we talking about, oh my gosh, look what came out together, guys. 3 cards. Check these out. If they couldn't just more perfectly embody what we've been talking about. I have the Earth. Nurture versus nature. What are you nurturing around you? What are you nurturing around you? We have the heart chakra, unfurling back to love. And we have communication, co-creation. Got that little earth in the middle. It's giving the first card. It's giving the past life card energy. Where did it go? It's buried. It's giving that energy of before earth. You know, androgynous beings, right? Pre-earth. Location stars, psychic wounding, celestial faith. It's interesting energy. Look at all that energy coming in, pouring in. If you were here last week, you heard me talk about light workers transmuting incoming energy, being open to receiving it, grounding it for the sake of others, like channeling and bringing new energy into earth so that we can expand, so that we can, I was just going to say shift, paradigm shift on the bottom. Look, high earth chakra coming in. Ecstatic bliss. Creating bliss. Aw, hummingbirds always make me think of my mom. It's her favorite bird. It's where I have this rose quartz. Little hummingbird. I gave that to my mom. I bought that quartz and this froggy hematite the same day. I bought the quartz for my mom, and it's the first crystals I ever bought. I don't know how they're still with me all these years later, how I still have them. my little totems. That's a joke. My little toad I used to call them. Get it? Bump. That's that inner child spirit coming through again as well. We come here to experience separation, but we also come here to remember wholeness. We come here to experience separation, right? So that we can go through the process of remembrance. There's our data collectors. So that's the universe experiencing self. We're collecting data, right? We're processing data. We are unit processors, right? I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the processing centers and how people are like, oh, they take up so much water, and so do we. Like, it's a precious resource for a reason, but it's like that's all we are. Our data processors taking up water, and using it to cool ourselves down. I'm just saying. Can we see that? Or can we see that? Are we open to receiving that message? I'm being called to get out the Earthcraft, but I'm also being called to leave these cards out. So I see my phone is like changing colors and stuff, probably just because I'm moving the cards around, but it's weird. It's weird when it does that. Let us get, I guess we'll come around to a final message here. Coming up on 2 hours. Let's get a few messages out of here. Let's see what comes out with it. So Spirit's really appealing to the inner child this week. Make sure that you are One card fell on the floor. I didn't see it. Life force energy. It's like using your energy for good. Like whether or not the people around you are consciously aware of or able to say, you know, or put a finger on it. You know, this isn't about being loving for acknowledgement. This is about being loving for self. It's like this isn't about loving somebody to receive acknowledgement and recognition from them. This is about loving them even when they're unable to be mindful of it. It's like it's giving love them anyways. There's something about them not remembering who they are, but you have an opportunity to remember who you are. Ooh, we'll have to read this one. 11. We saw that number earlier. Forest Tears. Oh. Ah, okay. Soul loss. Okay, those fell face down. Let's get another one. It came out so fast. Spiritual journey. I'm going to read these cards, guys. I would like to read these ones. I'm always getting to know this deck a little bit better. It's such a beautiful deck. So let's dig into these ones. We'll start with Forest Tears, number 11. Even trees cry when they're hurt. This is kind of exactly what I'm saying, where we're creating the awareness of other people's trauma. Not that we need to know their trauma, not that we need to solve their problems, not that we need to allow them to project onto us, but when we create awareness of these traumas, of the hurt, right, we can better recognize where their energy ends and ours begins. We can better recognize what is a projection and why. And again, it doesn't necessarily need to, not everything needs to be fixed or solved. Sometimes it just needs to be witnessed and acknowledged. It says, when a tree is hurt, it seeps forest tears. And what you might know as tree resin. This resin covers the wounds and hardens, allowing the tree the time and protection it needs to heal. The tree's inherent intelligence knows how much resin it needs to feel safe and whole again. When this card comes up in a reading, it's a reminder that although we all grieve and heal in different ways, we must grieve before that healing process can truly begin. Yeah, we have to witness it. Is there a loss you have experienced that still needs mourning? Have you been avoiding the grieving process? Others may expect you to heal in a time frame that they determine to be healthy or appropriate. You might have been told to move on, or that the way to, that's what my mom used to say about how anxious I was in cars. You know, I had a cousin say that about the NICU too. That like once my daughter left the NICU, I was supposed to leave the trauma behind there. Like it had been long enough and I should have healed from that by now. It's a very weird energy, a weird projection that others have. But I'm just laughing about it. I've experienced that where other people thought I should heal in their time and not my own. Okay. You might have been told to move on, or that the way to move on is to bury your emotions, or perhaps others have made you feel as though you've moved on too quickly, that you didn't take your situation seriously enough, and now you feel pressured to stay in a healing space longer than you feel is necessary. Says I feel like this is important. Another person's experience is not a measure of your own. And you can heal as quickly or as slowly as you like. Hi, Renan. Your pace, whatever that might be, is exactly what you need. Isn't this interesting? Because I was talking about mindfulness and I was talking about what hidden pains and fears that we may be holding subconsciously. And this comes with a water mirror. It says water mirror oracle as an exercise. It says use this water exercise to connect to your own hidden pains and fears and reveal the truths from the depths within. I think we had the card depths come out. Sit overlooking a bowl or body of water with your pointer finger, tap your reflection and say, I call upon the water within. Then allow the reflection to steady again. Now speak your questions and your troubles to the water, asking for its guidance. Think about a situation or event and ask the water if you are ready to move forward. If tears fall into your reflection, you are in need of more time to heal. If you see your reflection, gently smile back. You are ready to move forward. Oh, what a sweet way to connect with yourself. Thank you, Renan. Yeah, this is a collective reading. I've actually been on for about just a little over 2 hours now. So if you do want to go back to the beginning when I'm finished here, you can check out the rest of the collective message. I think there was some good things that came out tonight. Excuse me. Excuse me for making that gross noise. Oh, I was feeling a little stuffed up for a second there. Okay, soul loss. Let's read about soul loss. Soul loss represents powerlessness and a loss of identity. Traumatic events shake us to our core. We talked a lot about this. So much so that the soul is disconnected from the body and lost in the confusion as we try to make sense of the chaos. It's natural to lose a connection to the truest parts of yourself after trauma. I feel like this so connects to what we were talking about tonight. Major events are not only incidents that can trigger trauma, small traumas can accumulate to cause the soul to suddenly and unexpectedly sever its tether to the body. To regain your soul, look to the last time you felt unconditional joy and existed without outside influence. Seek your inner child. Right? We absolutely spent a great portion of this evening talking about connecting with our inner child as a part of being mindfully present and to witness the triggers and traumas. Did we not? I'm pretty sure we did. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure we did, though. That part of your being that still remembers how to laugh and how to approach the world with curious wonder. Connect to Mother Earth and the simple pleasures of sun on your face and grass between your toes. Oh, makes me think of that saying that's been going around lately. You need to touch grass. Allow yourself to feel inspired. We started here, and to see the beauty of new adventures and experiences. Notice what feels good and comes naturally to you. Play without any expectation to remind your soul what joy feels like. Replace suffering with the process of getting to know yourself again. Find a place where you can sit or lie down quietly, close your eyes, and calm your mind and body. Take several deep breaths, and on the last exhale, hold your breath for 10 seconds. As you gently allow the sacred air to enter your lungs, envision yourself floating on a never-ending ocean, glittering and swirling like a galaxy beneath the waves. Feel the lightness of the water carrying your body away. There is no land, just you and the dome of stars and the dark sky. Open your eyes to the darkness, and when you feel ready, sink into the ocean. Beneath the surface of the water, you see stars shining bright, shooting stars and glowing colors swirling above. Go ahead and reach for a star, the brightest of stars. Bring the star into your heart as it enters, becoming one with you. Shoot up into the dark sky, illuminating the darkness. Feel your spirit in its truest form. Remind yourself of who you are without the pain, the hurt, the experience that dimmed your star's light. Feel your spirit in its truest form. That's that remembrance here. Remind yourself of who you are without the pain, the hurt, the experiences. Look, number 77. I just saw that. Without the pain, the hurt, the experience that dimmed your star's light. Hold on to this feeling, this power, and when you are ready, open your eyes and find your way back to yourself again. Sevens for me are all about introspection. That's a very introspective energy, okay? And then let's look at spiritual journey. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I really appreciate it. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you so much. If you'd like to book a personal, I am available for same-day readings, okay? You can contact me via the links in the bio. I have both my email and I think my Facebook is in there as well. Okay, just a little plug so you know. Well, I was looking for the other page. Spiritual journey. A spiritual journey is a lifelong process that will never truly be complete. There is this expectation to find one life purpose that will satisfy you until you transcend this earth. But this is rarely the case. It is a constant dance between finding who you are and directing the self-actualization towards a higher purpose. I swear, did I not talk about one of the ways to help you feel like you have purpose when you're struggling to find it? I could have sworn I said this was to send people genuine love, to just be a source of light to someone. That came out in the very beginning of our reading tonight. Thank you, Spirit, for all the confirmations with this deck. I appreciate it. Like every single one of these cards hit on the conversation that we've been having this evening. Let's see. It is a constant dance between finding who you are and directing that self-actualization towards a higher purpose. What was true for you once may ebb and flow like the tide into something new and better suited to who you are right now. If you have been waiting for a sign to embark on a new adventure, this card is it. You are supported and you are embraced. Oh, as you embrace new ways of expressing yourself, again with expressions, right? We had creativity, inspiration, and expression came out several times tonight. Expression keeps coming out over and over and over again. So expressing yourself here on earth, you might discover a way to breathe new life into something old, or you may find that you are meant for a new path. Additionally, this card is a positive sign if you are seeking a new career, new love, or considering a new beginning of any kind. So, oh, a vision board. Anybody here do vision boards? I love them. I do digital vision boards. You don't have to have all of these ingredients. It says ingredients, poster board, pile of magazines, scissors, and a glue stick. You do not have to do that. You can create a Pinterest board. You can get like I like to make them digitally. So what I like to do is, like, if I'm trying to, it's kind of like, for me, I want to give an example. I gave myself a long time to set up my workspace in my other room with my workbench, you know, what I wanted it to look like, what kind of style I wanted to be, kind of like a designer board. You know how like a designer would get swatches and colors and put up different things that kind of fit the design. I did something like that, but I did it digitally. Like I did it in either Canva or something else. Like I saved all of these elements that I liked and I put them all into one image together. And then I had given myself like 6 months or something like that to create my workbench and my workspace. And I think after I did the vision board, I had it ready in like 2 months. There's something about having that physical board that like makes it, and not, and I'm talking, I did it digitally, but it was like I could keep returning to it. Like every time I wanted to get an element for that space, I returned to that visual. When I say physical, I mean like visual, like the visual reference of it. Okay. Yeah, Andrea, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because vision boards, I think, are pretty self-explanatory. I think most of us have had an experience with it or have had one or have thought about doing them. Absolutely do the vision board. And you can, again, like I did, I like to do them digitally. I like to, I like to create something on a board for like a vision for the future, a vision for my space, a vision for my timeline. You guys have seen where I have written down goals for the channel and I've blown those goals out of the water, right? That to me is sort of like a form of vision board, right? It's like an energetic vision board. I'm still working on my new backdrop, guys. Like it's coming. I didn't make it up. I'm not pretending or anything. It's just that I tell you, if I had done the last one first, I never would have done the other two. I don't know if I've told you guys. It's been ridiculous. Did Mr. Awesome say how his mom was doing? I don't know if I caught it. Mr. Awesome, are you still around? I know you came in and I asked how your mom was. Oh, she's holding on still. Okay, I do see that now. I'm sending tons of love. Lucretia, speaking of people who have been feeling ill, how are you, my dear? Are you healing? Are you home yet? Oh, you're welcome. I was just getting ready to close up. It's a collective reading, though. You could go back to the beginning, my love. We had a lot of talk about encouraging our inner children, right? Getting in touch with them, allowing ourselves to create from a space of, well, I mean, I guess we did talk a little about, but you know, like when you can't put your finger on what the trauma is that's triggering you. Sometimes that's just the case. We feel a certain way and it's a little of everything. And we talked about that and how do you transmute that? What are some ways that that can be transmuted? We talked about that. We also talked about creating awareness of the fact that other people are also experiencing trauma and giving them the space. This was a beautiful message. This was a beautiful message. Lucretia, though, how are you feeling, my love? This deck, I don't know why. This particular deck, I don't remember this box ever having any kind of insert. Why is the deck so, like the box so big? It's like, I guess it's because the book is big. It's like, it's so big. So the cards are always so loose in there. It feels weird. I need like a little, like to make a little spacer or something to put in it. Because they're always just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like other boxes have little inserts. And the cards don't feel so loose in the box. And this one never had one, to my knowledge. Thank you so much, Andrea. I thought they were beautiful messages as well this evening. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. You know, I hope that you can carry the message with you this weekend and you could create opportunities to be sources of light, not just for yourself, but for others. There was a strong message earlier about being a source of light for others. even when we're struggling to do so, right? Like, even especially in light of knowing that they may be going through a difficult time, and they may be having a hard time being a source of light for themselves. It's like spirit is calling us up, asking us to be open in the heart chakra to each other. And again, that doesn't mean available for abuse or available for neglect or available as somebody's whipping post when they're angry, but it does mean not allowing what they're projecting uh, to keep you from embracing and knowing your inner child, where your healing and your traumas are, where their trauma end and where your trauma begins, so to speak. Whew. Oh, Lucretia, you're not home yet? Is that what you're saying? You're still feeling under the weather? I'm so sorry, my love. I hope you heal quickly. I really do. It's so tough. I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you when I woke up this morning, Lucretia, actually. Ah, good. I hope so. But I was thinking of you this morning when I woke up because and I told the story in the beginning. I didn't mention you, but this morning I had a dream last night that I was having an asthma attack and my inhaler was empty. And when I woke up, I was actually having an asthma attack and I went to use my inhaler and it was empty. And it was like such a premonition, that dream. And I was like, dang it. So I had to order a new inhaler today. The way that I get through issues with my asthma is, believe it or not, okay, this is like a little known secret. This is not medical advice, guys, but it is like something you can look up yourself. But 2 cups of coffee is equivalent to the use of an emergency inhaler. So when I'm out of my inhaler, I just make coffee. Like 2 cups of black coffee is equivalent to the use of an emergency inhaler. It's short-lived. It wouldn't last as long as a regular inhaler, but it is doable. And again, that's not medical advice. That's just something I learned and I've used on many occasions because it's a bronchial dilator, caffeine. Actually, interestingly enough, when Amber was in the NICU and she was on a ventilator, they use caffeine in the NICU, but they use like pure liquid form of it. And they mix it like right into like babies' bottles and things. And because it's a bronchial dilator and it's very safe and effective. So when she left the NICU, she actually left with a script for caffeine, for like pure little white capsules of caffeine that you would pour right into her bottle. It's a cool thing. Cool. See, I knew it for years before she was born, but I didn't realize they were actually giving it to babies. I know it's so hard to be away from home. Lucretia, it's hard to be sick in general, but it's extra hard to be sick somewhere where you don't feel comfortable. Isn't that interesting, Andrea? It's like I had learned it years ago and I relied on it before I had health insurance and I couldn't afford, $800 inhalers. Yes, yes, when you don't have insurance, inhalers can be that much. It's ridiculous. But before I could access inhalers and I had to rely on home remedies, coffee was one of my go-tos for the asthma. Still is. I would still rather drink 2 cups of coffee than need my inhaler. I reach for my inhaler when I wake up in the morning and I can't breathe. And like, I don't, I want relief before I can get the coffee made. Like, But it's just, it's nice to know that there's a way to like take care of myself, even in the absence of that relief, that big farm relief. There's very few things that I rely on big farm for, and that I do. I do like to have an inhaler on hand. My daughter and I, we both have the same script for an inhaler, so I just have one, and we both use it, like if we need it or when we need it. It's not a big deal. It's hard having asthma. It's so hard. It's really, really hard being asthmatic. But there are ways to ease the pain and frustration. So I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Don't forget, if you would like to book a personal, the links are in the bio. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me for our second ever Friday collective reading. Oh, I'm so glad that you did. You thought of something I said to you? Oh, you stood up for yourself and you thought of something. What did I say to you? What did I say to you that you thought of? That's so sweet that we were thinking of each other. Aw, you're so sweet. I hope it was useful. I hope it was valuable. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I'm just waiting to see what it was I said to her that she remembered. I'm sipping my coffee and I'm waiting. Maybe we'll get just a couple more. Hold on. Let's get a couple more cards. Just because I'm here and I'm not quite tired yet. I have some whispers. I like the whispers cards. Maybe we need a whispers of love message. Since there was so much heart chakra energy. Let me find it. If I can find it, it's here somewhere. I got Whispers of Ganesha. I've got Nature's Whispers. I think they're all the same creator. Where did it go? Spirit. Oh, there it is. Whispers of Love. They moved you again. So, is it just everybody going crazy around you, Lucretia? Maybe it's you and not them. You're the common denominator. I'm just kidding, my love. But I mean, truly though, you could have a spirit with you. People could be people could be perceiving your spiritual energy, right? Oh, the first card out, turn on your heart light. Literally what we were talking about. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. Kidding, not kidding. Yeah, exactly. Oh, so cute. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Again, it's giving me, I saw the inner child with the lion earlier. How strong your inner child is. Look at everything that you've been through, that your inner child has had to endure, right? We'll get a couple more of these and then I'll call it a night. I love you guys so much. What fell on the ground here? Ooh. Ooh, Ooh, new love. Look, because remember that meditation I just read where it was like reach for the brightest star? That's what that's giving me. The meditation we just read. It says embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. It sounds exactly like what we've been talking about. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, just a bunch came out. Trust faith in this situation. I'm laughing because that's where we started. Have faith. It's come up a few times this evening, but have faith is literally where we started today's readings. Practice compassion. I talked about that. Practicing compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. How many times did I say really consider what's making the grumpy old guy grumpy? Send them love. You don't have to interact with them if they're not open to it, but you can send them love. They don't need to be open to receiving it for you to. It is recapping, Andrea. The last two decks are like, we already said it. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Yeah, we were talking about that as well. Genuine compliments, genuine love, like being a source of genuine light. We were talking about ways to be mindful of our light throughout the day and how we are using it, right? To be intentional. The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. We talked about that too. We talked about being aware of the fact that people are going through things that we may not be aware of, that they're processing their own traumas, their own struggles as well. Sometimes we are so centered on our own that we forget to realize that the people around us are going through similar struggles. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. Thank you, Spirit. This is giving that coming to earth, choosing to be born, that first trauma, that first illusion of separation at birth. Well, it sounds like, Lucretia, they need the energy as well. So, Andrea, I was reading what you were saying, and I was asking myself, what's a spiritual sneeze? What is she talking about? But I realized now you mean, what is the symbolization of sneezing, or what does it symbolize spiritually? Oh, I love you. These are powerful words. It's the deck art. So, I love you. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you felt the love this evening during your readings. Or the reading, I should say. I hope you felt the love. I hope you are open to receiving. Look at this. Oh, isn't that cute? Right on the bottom. Express love through gifts. Sometimes your light is the gift. Your presence is the gift. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. It reminds me of like stopping and giving my neighbor the hug. I don't know what sneezing is. You would have to look it up. You would have to. I would ask Google, but I'll trigger everybody else's. And it happens all the time. And then I was like, oh yeah, being open to receiving love and appreciation. Receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. Thank you, Spirit. Those are beautiful. They all touch. They all touch on what we talked about tonight. And so those are beautiful confirmations as well. Maybe you need to get her some. So I made a bracelet for a friend of mine when he was struggling with some heart issues, and his heart doctor can't stop obsessing over his crystal bracelet, his chakra bracelet. It had all of the chakras represented between, and it was a leather cord. It was on leather cord. It was two leather cords, and I did a weave around the leather cords with the colors down the center. He was very into it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, collective. I appreciate you. Thank you. This is our second only Friday nights. As long as you guys like it, I'll keep trying to show up for them. I appreciate you guys showing up and commenting and sticking around. I appreciate it so much. And I, too, am sending you guys so much love and appreciation, so much appreciation. You guys have no idea what it means to me to have your support week after week and to have you show up and enjoy the lives. Even the collective ones, I appreciate it so much. We'll be back again on, what is today? Friday. So we'll be back on Sunday with another practically personal with a list, hopefully, you know, if all goes well. Sunday we will return with the list and we'll do the personals. It'll be fun. If you're new here, make sure you come back on Sunday. Be early because the list does fill up fast. I do not have a P.O. box. No, I do not have a P.O. box. I wish I did. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I could probably make her a wish list on Amazon or something. Make her a wish list of her own. She is so, like, you guys, she is so sweet. She likes very simple things. She's still very much a kid at heart. She's so adorable. She's so fun. She's so sweet. We have some big challenges ahead, so prayers appreciated as we prepare to figure out what the surgery will be like, what we're facing for that. I could imagine it's going to be, so one of her big stims, as you guys know, I'm always talking about how she's running up and down the halls. So thinking about how to process foot surgery with a kid whose major stim is running. A special needs kid whose stim is running. I don't like to think about her with casts on both of her feet for 6 weeks is overwhelming for me. It's very overwhelming. But we'll talk more about it when it gets closer. I'm sure it's a ways out still. I'm sure there's going to be quite a wait list for when she's going to get in. I won't know until Tuesday what the next step is going to be. So it may affect the lives. It may not. Well, I might just be taking a lot more breaks to help her out while she's in recovery. We'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how I can balance them all together. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that she was going to be facing surgery soon. And so my life is going to be a little different. A little different. A little more demanding for a hot minute again. Oh, you're going to get her something, Lucretia? Yeah. sometimes they need it. Sometimes they need it. I remember Amber's, one of her eye doctors was shining a light on her hand. And Amber said to her, "That's nice light language." And the doctor looked shocked. Like it took her aback. Like she sat back and her eyes got wide. And she was like, "What did she just say?" And I explained to her what it was. And it had turned out that that doctor had just recently discovered spirituality for herself and had recently just started to hear about things like that. And so it was some kind of a spiritual confirmation for her that Amber brought it very casually into a conversation. And we were probably there an extra hour after the appointment just talking about spiritual stuff with this doctor. So a lot more people are waking up than I think a lot of people realize. There's more awareness these days than not. I think it's a beautiful thing. We are on the cusp of a very beautiful time when there's huge shifts happening and a lot of healing going on, and we should be sources of light for each other, even when sometimes even when we're struggling to be a source of light for ourselves. Oh, you know, sometimes just I feel like sometimes it's easier to be a source of light for someone else than it is to be a source for ourselves. But it's like when there's enough of us doing it, then there's enough light for everyone. Thank you, Spirit. That's a beautiful message. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. And please remember, until next time, do stay inspired, guys. Love you. Have a good night.